Greetings, exiles. Many of my regular viewers know that I love Death's Oath and that it's my absolute favorite build. But at the same time, I love trying something new. So this journey will be about the Chieftain Death's Oath build. Right now, some of you are probably thinking I've completely lost my mind. Actually, yes, but that's not what this video is about. I've wanted to try this build for a long time because explosions are a key part of Death's Oath, and Chieftain has very potent explosions. So let's see how it turned out for me. And even though I'll always be on the purple team, to be honest, I was jealous of the Righteous Fire players. Because they can start playing their build as early as Act 3. So I'm switching teams temporarily. I hope you'll forgive me for this, because I couldn't have endured another round of leveling with Sunder. Think of me as an undercover agent. Tink in the axe? No way. Ground loot is real. Let's sell what I found earlier and see if I can put together a basic Death's Oath build. Our foundation, non-foulborn, because it's much cheaper. An amulet with despair. And I'm out of gold. Classic. Well, let's play a little more with Righteous Fire, because I need gold. We're heading to the bottom of the ocean because it's an easy and quick way to earn a lot of gold. I don't really like this mechanic, but I have to admit it's very profitable. A dozen charts, one voyage, and I've got enough gold for purchases plus currency to buy gear. Let's keep putting together the starting build. The weapon. I need a base like this. And essences. Benchcraft. And call it a day. One of the most common questions in the comments, why do you need minion damage? Because of this node right here, minion damage equals our damage. Easy damage scaling early on. Amethyst rings. Very simple, with life, open suffix, and attributes. Helmet. Life and resistances. Belt. Life and chaos resistance. Abyss jewel with phasing and life. Gloves. Base with this implicit. And essences. Something simple to start with. The shield and boots are what I found on the ground. Now I can swap to the best build in the game. Actually, I could have bought better gear because I had the currency, but I deliberately tried to make the start as budget-friendly and scuffed as possible. Alright, let's talk about how it turned out for me. First of all, I went too far with defense. 5000 HP, 86 max resistance, attack and spell block are too much for white and yellow maps in the softcore league. If I were to play this build again, I'd invest more in damage. That much defense is unnecessary at this stage of the game. As for the Chieftain, I didn't notice any issues. Of course, we deal less damage than the Occultist because all of the Occultist's Ascendancy nodes are essentially damage-based. But again, on yellow and white maps, this isn't very noticeable. At the same time, our defense is much better than the Occultist's, and you can feel that right away. As for explosions, there's an interesting situation here too. Profane Bloom provides good explosions, however, for them to feel truly powerful, we need more AoE and damage scaling. Meanwhile, the Chieftain's explosions are immediately very impactful, high damage and AoE without any investment. In addition, they can trigger a chain reaction. That's why the Chieftain is a pretty interesting choice. As for my future plans, even though I have good defense against chaos and elemental damage, physical damage is my main weakness. So first and foremost, I need bases with high armor, and I plan to use endurance charges. I also need to tweak my mana a bit so I can add flesh and stone to my build. With attack and spell block, that'll be enough for a start. As for damage, I'll need clusters. A lot of them, because that's the easiest and cheapest way to scale up damage. And of course, jewels. But for that, I need currency. By the way, here's my first divine orb in this journey. Nice. And back to the charts and the voyage for more gold and good loot. Easy money. First large cluster. Something very simple and cheap to start with. And jewels. I found some interesting bases like these. Now let's try to make something cool out of them using Allflame crafting. Wow, a very solid jewel. And another one. No luck this time. Oh well. Anointment, the best choice for this build. A new helmet to fix the mana issues. To start, I need a base like this. And of course, essences. That was quick. I think I'll stop here because I need chaos resistance, and I don't want to risk wasting currency. Benchcraft and Allflame slam. It'll do for now. A ring with endurance charges on kill. New boots. Looks solid. Medium cluster. And alteration spam. Then Allflame crafting. Cluster crafting in this league is very easy. And one more. Just like I said, easy. Especially if you're always lucky. It's time for the last lab. It's pretty late, but I wasn't in a hurry because the last nodes are useless for my build. So I plan to use the Bloodline Ascendancy. For example, this one right here. To convert fire damage from explosions to chaos so it can be easily scaled. There are also other options I'd like to try, but later. Right now, I don't want to spend time on that. Besides, to get this Lisha bloodline, I need to go to the Sanctum. And that's the biggest cringe in the game, so I'll leave it for later. Originally, I wasn't planning on making any further upgrades to this build and was going to focus on getting Voidstone and Atlas progression. But I noticed that this jewel is very cheap, and it's a huge upgrade for this build. I'd say it's one of the best. Chaos damage. Plus, the aura effect, which boosts the damage of our death aura because it's an aura. Some mana reservation. And you can get an additional curse. For example, punishment for more damage. But I didn't take the extra curse right now because the amulet for the double free aura is expensive, and I'm too lazy to keep pressing an extra button. Anyway. First pinnacle boss. Fun fact, while editing this video, I noticed that my despair aura wasn't active. Most likely, it turned off when I was switching my gear, and I forgot to turn it back on. That's why my damage was so low. But in any case, the first Voidstone is mine. Almost the entire Atlas is complete. But I decided to stop here. I won't be getting any more Voidstones or unlocking all the Atlas points. Instead, I'll focus on earning currency because I need expensive items. Besides, I've already unlocked the best Atlas square in the game, and I don't need anything else. Right? My starting Atlas. The boss rush with ore. The league mechanics give us a lot of gold, so I plan to actively use King's March. With this node and Nico Scarabs, I'll be able to send out ships. Also, I plan to actively use mappers as a stable passive income source. And every now and then, I'd head back to the bottom of the deep ocean to replenish my gold reserves and search for treasures. Crazy loot. Well then, the time has come. It's time to sell these scam bottles and go shopping, because I really need some good gear. Death's Oath. Unnatural Instinct and the Light of Meaning. For a great value. Now let's tweak the skill tree again. A cool ring for more damage. Thread of Hope. To gain access to powerful nodes and save a dozen skill points. New shield. I'll buy a base like this one. Block chance, life, maximum fire resistance, and a free suffix. Now let's try Allflame crafting. No luck. I need life on block. One more try. Still unlucky, but mana reservation is a good option, so I'll stick with this one. I don't want to waste currency, so I'll fix the shield later. A new ring. Single target DPS is a huge issue for this build, and we usually use Shaco with a decay level of 33 or higher. That helmet solves all the single target DPS problems but adds mana reservation issues, plus, it's pretty expensive. So I decided to try a different option. This ring provides additional support for my Blight. Besides, Blight was buffed in this league, so I'm hoping that with these gloves, I'll be able to get pseudo 6 links. Speaking of gloves, let's make some new ones. Fractured base. And essences. Not bad. My new gloves are ready. A new belt. As always, a base and essences. Let's set this aside and buy another base. That's a good option too. Another base because I still have essences left. No way. Cool belt. It deserves a hunter's exalted orb. Nice. Just what I need. And one more time. Not a bad upgrade. I need one more large cluster. It would have been cheaper to buy it, but I didn't want to waste time in the hideout and spam alteration orbs. Time is money. And one more medium cluster. I need more jewels. A new weapon. A fractured base. And I'll need a lot of these essences. This is going to be a long crafting session. Well then, that was quick. Tier 3. But I think I'll stop here. Benchcraft. More AoE. And my new wand is ready. Let's quickly fix the intelligence issues. If only this problem could be solved just as quickly in real life. Anyway, let's see how it turned out. First, let's kill this new boss to unlock the new bloodline ascendancy. Brain rot. Cool, now I'm a typical TikTok user. Let's see what we've got. First off, we now have another circle around our character, which is a big bonus. Because the more circles, the better the build. Right? It's a very strange ability. 30% of our damage over time accumulates as brain rot, and when the target leaves the area around us, it loses health equal to that value. Essentially, this isn't extra damage but an opportunity for dot builds to deal a portion of their damage instantly. Honestly, I didn't really see the point in this. Maybe I'm just stupid. But in any case, I was planning to use a different bloodline ascendancy. Sanctum run any minute now, surely. But let's head back to home, the toxic sewers. The best map for us. In fact, the days when this was the only map for Death's Oath are long gone. The modern version of this build can handle any map because our AoE is quite large. But considering that we can now scry any divination cards onto any maps, and Toxic Sewers is in the same quadrant as the Kadairo and Gamba box, this is a no-brainer choice for us. And let's see the build in action. Very good. Very satisfying gameplay. It's always fallen. Finally, a juicy tink. I was actually embarrassed to release this video because there weren't any good lucky drops. But this is just the beginning, because there are still lots of cool and expensive upgrades ahead to make the build even better. But for that, I need currency. You'll see all of that in the second part. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I'd also appreciate a like and a subscription. Bye for now, everyone. See you in the next video.